Good morning and happy Friday. Good people, this is your PoolePRoof wisdom moment. So, I was having a conversation. I love to have conversations with friends and colleagues and others who I understand and appreciate can have a conversation, right? These days you got to be a little bit careful. The slightest provocation and the next thing you know, people want to argue with you about things. But these are people who have a conversation. And in the course of the conversation, someone questioned me. Actually, they were trying to call me out, I think, because they were saying, how can you always be talking about God and faith and spirituality and you don't even go to church? It's a fair question, and I will be happy to answer it for them as I did. And I thought about doing something here today to tell you what I told them, so that if any of you may have that question for me or for yourselves or for people who are in your life, you'll have an answer too. The simple reality is that I grew up in church. You know, the traditional way of going to church, being there on Sundays and many other days throughout the week. And it was an experience that taught me a lot about who I am, about what faith really means, and expectations that are set by social standards and indicators about what is considered to be the appropriate thing to do. Now, my church experience over the years was one where there were certain things that were favorite sins, always preached. There were certain behaviors that somehow indicated that you were in church versus of the church, and that was enough for a lot of people. The other thing is that over the years, I saw where churches, in order to maintain people, became more like talent shows. It was an entertainment factor that started to really grate on my nerves. And that's not to say that for those people who enjoy it and find benefit in those things, that they should not go and be part of that church every day that they choose, whether it's Sunday or any other day during the week. But for me, I found that my faith, which is bedrock, by the way, my sense of belonging and sense of spirituality, my belief in a higher power, and the accompanying understanding that we are all here to serve a purpose and created by that power to serve that purpose, that has never changed. In fact, it's only grown over the years. But I don't believe that it becomes more engaged because I'm sitting in a building. Because my interactions with people where you can build community anywhere, build community anywhere exists wherever I am. I speak about it. I talk about faith. I have no qualms bringing up the subject matter and my belief in it, no matter where I am or who I'm with. So that's always with me. That's what I consider being in relationship with the God that I believe in. But I do not believe that you have to be in a building in order to have that relationship. So my basic response to the individual who was trying to call me out was simply this. You are correct. I do not go to church. But here's my rationale. I left church, but guess what? I kept God. God is with me. God is always part of my life. I have trust, faith, and I believe. I don't care where I am. I can have church in my bedroom, in my closet, in my space at work, while I'm walking down the street, wherever I am, that is always with me. So I want to be very clear. Don't assume that people who don't go to church have no faith, have no belief. In fact, ask them how they do rationalize their belief, what they do in order to keep their faith alive. And I think you'll be surprised to find out that a lot of those people, much like myself, have never left what their basic and most efficient understanding of their faith is. All they've done is chosen how they're going to route it into their life so they can be alive and active 24/7, 365. That is my story. What is yours? Listen, have yourself a great weekend. We're here on a Friday, and I'm hoping that whatever you do during this weekend, you will keep your faith and therefore your hope alive wherever you choose to practice it for your own benefit and that of the greater good for everyone with whom you come into contact. I'll see you here again next week. Have a great weekend.